Sup, bitches? I have been sick for like 2 weeks now. So I have this little dry cough now that I'm feeling a little bit better, but I just have the dry cough now. And it's kind of annoying. Anyway, this is episode 12, the Harley Quinn show. And I'm going to try to get it out as quick as possible so I won't be coughing all over this damn video. But anyway, first things first. When did Ivy get her clothes? Last episode, she was in a hospital gown. And in the beginning of this episode, she's in her regular clothing. What did she do? Did she go back home and go and get dressed and then come back and try to stop the trees? Who the fuck knows? But it doesn't make sense. Gordon sees trees killing people in the park and decides he wants to bomb the entire park. Civilians and mutant trees alike. Everybody dies. Everybody gets to business. That shit was funny to me. Apparently, Gordon likes tanks, but Batman doesn't want him to use them. That sucks. Also, the taxpayers voted for tanks, so everybody in Gotham wanted the GCPD to have tanks, but because Gordon takes orders from Batman, he didn't use tanks. Yeah, it follows along a little bit. Harley, for some odd reason, still thinks the Queen of Fables is a friend. Which is stupid because, quite honestly, Harley doesn't really know the Queen of Fables. She had conversations with the Queen of Fables while she was trapped in a book, had weekly meetings to have coffee or tea or whatever the fuck it was. And it's kind of like when you're talking to people over the phone or on social media and stuff like that. You don't know who this person is, really, unless you meet them in real life. Because all they are is a bunch of words before you actually meet them in person. And then you get to see who they really are. That would mean that Harley and the Queen of Fables are acquaintances and not friends. But Harley, for some odd reason, is getting that very much confused. Because once the Queen of Fables was out of that book and she went to save the Queen of Fables, and she found out that her and the Queen of Fables do not mix all that well. Yeah. Y'all ain't friends. So Ivy finally tells Harley about Kite Man, and which took forever to do. But then she brings up that if, like, Harley asked her, like, why didn't you tell me? And then Ivy goes, well, anything that doesn't involve you, you don't seem to care. Which is kind of unfair because Harley literally asked her a few times, especially the time when she was disguising herself for some. Well, it was because she was embarrassed about Kite Man. But Harley asked her about what the fuck she's doing, and Ivy just chose not to tell Harley. Matter of fact, I believe Harley asked her more than just that one time about it, and she just refused to say anything. So Harley had an interest. Ivy just didn't say anything. Also, how the fuck does everyone know that Ivy is dating Kite Man and no one gave any hint that they knew? But for some reason now in this entire conversation, everyone knows but Harley. That's just fucking weird. Uh, the fact that Harley is grossed out by Ivy making out with Kite Man, or just Kite Man in general, when she is literally known as the girlfriend of Joker. She dates the Joker. You're grossed out that Ivy is with Kite Man, a normal, regular guy who is not a homicidal murderer who goes around torturing people and killing people in the most sick and just fucked up ways. And for some odd reason, you're grossed out by Kite Man, but not by the Joker. Whatever. The tanks let me down because they was completely useless. First, the tanks come in. He just completely disobeys Batman. Comes in with the tank. Harley steals the tank. And then they go and get another tank just for one of the mutated trees to destroy said tank. Very disappointing. That just that was a letdown. There was a drawing. There's a drawing during a little newscast after it got taken over by the Joker's goons and everything. They showed a picture of a woman wearing Joker's makeup. I just really like that picture. She was really the way they drew that. It was a nice look. The Lady Joker picture was a pretty nice picture. I liked it, so I just had to add that in there. Clayface. The fact that it took me this long in the episode to realize during their whole conversation, but Clayface is able to kill all these tree monsters by himself, but he doesn't, because you have to nerf the OP villains. You just gotta nerf them. Why leave them to be OP as they are? Nah, fuck that shit. Make them completely and totally useless people. Fuck it. Now, I hate how I remember that Ivy is in a park. Because if you guys can remember, what is Ivy known for? Controlling plants, right? So, in the beginning, they established that she cannot control the mutated trees. You're in a park, Ivy. You're in a park. You're surrounded by plants. You can easily, by standing perfectly still, she can take out each and every last mutated tree in that park. But she doesn't. And the fact that it's nearly the end of the episode, and I remember that, I hate myself for that. Like, I just completely forgot until towards the end, and it's like, holy fucking shit. This is fucking Ivy in a goddamn park, and for some odd reason, she's not completely dominating these motherfuckers. Seriously. Just like Clayface. Both of them can just dominate these tree creatures. But they're not. Plus, because of that, because it reminded me, I just reminded myself of that, and it fucking sucks that I forgot something that's so fucking blatantly obvious. It's like slapping me in the fucking face with its dick. But she didn't have to drink that concoction that Scarecrow made. So she could become, this giant fucking version of herself. And apparently, that's what she needed in order to be able to fight these mutated trees, which it's stupid. I mean, I guess it gives her a power boost, which would make sense. I mean, but at the same time, you don't need it. You're surrounded by plants. You can easily destroy these fuckers. Easily. But whatever. I love the fact that Psycho wanted to be put in Ivy's pocket. Apparently, he likes really tall or gigantic women. And quite honestly, after Resident Evil Village, I'm pretty sure everyone can relate to that. Everyone can relate to that. I'm into it too now. Like shit, I didn't know I had a thing for really tall women until Resident Evil Village. Yeah, these games tend to be kind of a bad influence on us. We're learning that we have kinks that we didn't know we had. Yeah. But anyway, also he also mentions like, y'all know I got a type or some shit like that, and it's like, bro, when did that topic ever come up? It's just like when Ivy and Psycho were on the cloud before the giant popped up, and she was talking about she's like, they're magic, no, not magic tree. The beanstalk was magic, and she was like, I can't control magic plants, and he was, and she was like, you know that, you fucking gremlin. And he's like, when did that ever come up? When did that ever come up in conversation at all? How was I supposed to know that? Exactly. Just like, how the fuck is anyone supposed to know that you have a thing? Oh, it just fucking slapped me in the face. It just slapped me in the face. His former girl was fucking gigantic. God damn it. That's right. Giganta was his chick. That's his no, it was his baby mama. Giganta is his baby mama. With that deep ass voice. I literally scrubbed that shit from my brain. Because that shit was just that voice just threw me off. It just I didn't like her voice at all. So I scrubbed that from my mind. But yeah, he definitely has a thing for tall, gigantic women. No, it's gigantic women, not just tall women. They gotta be gigantic. But anyway, the last thing on this little list of notes here. They really ended the episode with Ivy dying. Now, there's nothing wrong with you killing off Ivy, except for the fact that it's Harley Quinn show. You do know your main fan base for this show is going to be people who are fans of Harley Quinn. Most of the fans of Harley Quinn actually read the comic books. And since Harley Quinn and Ivy are best friends, people would know that Ivy is practically immortal in a weird way. She will die, but she will just grow a new body. But in some cases, she grows more than one body. And it's like her consciousness just gets transferred to the new body that she grows. Again, it's weird. It's a weird thing. And also, I've read a lot of fucking comics. I might be getting a side comic mixed with the main, storyline or some shit like that. Possible. Comic book fans, if you see this video, please correct me if I'm wrong. But yes, indeed, yes, indeed, Ivy does die and comes back in the comics. It has happened. I've read this, but again, it might be a side comic or the main one. I think she died and came back to life in the main storyline of things once, but have done it multiple times. And you know what? Let me stop. Anyway, because I know this, the whole shock factor of her being hit by that spear and then dying, it doesn't hit me at all. Like I feel nothing because I know she's just gonna come back to life. Also, why did she shrink? Why did she shrink after she got hit? Is it because she was losing blood, so that shit just was just flowing out of her system, so she shrunk? I, I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't matter. She shrunk, but at the same time, I'm wondering why she shrunk. It's not that big of a deal. But anyway, that would be the end of this episode of Pros and Cons with the Harley Quinn show. With 8 cons and 4 pros, this episode you would probably think is a bad one, but it's not. It's actually a pretty good episode, and I actually enjoyed it like most of the episodes within the series, except episode 5. Fuck that episode. That is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. And I should probably put another pay count on that motherfucker, but no, I'm not going to do that again. But anyway, hopefully I get better and I can do more of these goddamn videos in a more timely fashion, because I actually miss making the videos because it gives me something to do on my days off. But anyway, that'll be the end of this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I'm out.